Well, good afternoon, and thank you all for watching THV11 News at Noon. I'm Hayden Balgavy. Michael Aaron is out on assignment today. Well, it was canceled last year because of COVID-19, but one of Arkansas's biggest events makes its return. We're talking all about the State Fair. Kicks off in Little Rock tomorrow, but we're getting a little early preview of what to expect today. THV11's Scott Covert is at the fairgrounds right now, getting the scoop on all the new food, the rides, and all the features coming to this year's event. And Scott, I want to send it out to you. I got to say, I thought we were friends. You know, you were with me this morning, and now you're at the fair without me, man. What's going on?
Hey, good afternoon, Hayden. We are live at the Arkansas State Fair. There is a lot going on. Now, Hayden, the Arkansas State Fair has decades-long history. It's only been canceled 3 times in its entirety. Twice for World War II, once for COVID-19 last year. But it is back, and it is back bigger than ever. 52 food vendors, a ton of new food, new rides, so much fun going on. We're going to be trying a few of those new foods. I'm going to let you know what they are and what you can expect here at the State Fair coming up throughout the noon show today.
All right, Scott, don't have too much fun out there. I'm still a little mad at you. Luckily, I got Nathan Scott here to join me this afternoon. Nathan, we talked about it a lot this morning. I know we've been sort of seeing those humid, just it feels a little sticky outside, but Saturday's the day we're waiting for.
Yeah, the weekend's going to be great, Hayden, but
it.
we have to get through today and tomorrow, unfortunately. We're going to have
okay.
potential of some showers and storms for opening day on Friday. I think Scott's just one of those people that go to the fair just for the food. He seems like he's that type. All right, let's take a look at the visible satellite right now. We've got lots of clouds in place. Temperatures, they're not bad, but it's very humid out there because we have a lot of moisture in place. Temperatures into the mid to upper 70s, 69 right now in Fayetteville. And there are some showers in western parts of the state. That's where it has been the case for the past few days, just because they're closer to the front. We still have some light rain taking place through Polk County, now getting into Hot Springs in Garland County. This is all lifting its way off to the north and northeast. Flash flood watch remains in effect for Polk County, Scott County, and for northwest Arkansas because there could still be some pockets of heavy rain that could cause some flash flooding issues. That flash flood watch continues until 7 o'clock this evening. Let's take through time here on future radar. The chance of showers and storms will be going up here in central Arkansas through the course of the day. Can't rule out there could be 1 or 2 strong storms that try to produce some gusty winds, especially if we see some sun. Highs today, upper 70s to lower 80s. Tomorrow with the cold front, we do have the potential of some strong to severe thunderstorms. I'll have more details on that situation coming up later.
Nathan, thank you. When it comes to COVID-19 in Arkansas, there is good news. Our new case count continues to decline. 694 new cases reported Wednesday. That's lower than the amount we saw the day before and less than the number we had seen last Wednesday. And with a decline in new cases comes a decline in active ones as well. 6,702 Arkansans are fighting the virus this afternoon, according to the latest report. That's down more than 100 from Tuesday. Now, if you take a look at this THV11 chart on your screen, you can see we've made dramatic progress since the summer peak. Active cases in the state are down by about 19,000 since mid-August. President Biden received a briefing from his COVID-19 response team today about the latest in the fight against the pandemic. Now, this comes as the White House pushes for new vaccine mandates and an independent FDA advisory committee debates whether booster shots are needed for those who have already received the Moderna or Johnson & Johnson vaccines. Skylar Henry has more details from the FDA headquarters in Silver Springs, Maryland.
The number of new COVID cases, hospitalizations, and deaths is declining, which the White House says is because of an increase in vaccinations.
Vaccines have been remarkably effective at keeping people out of the hospital and saving their lives.
A new study shows more than 90,000 American deaths since June could have been prevented if they were vaccinated. And the Biden administration is finalizing a mandate that all businesses with more than 100 workers require their employees be vaccinated.
We have to take that lesson and build on it and ensure that we take the weeks and months ahead to vaccinate as quickly as possible the over 65 million people who remain unvaccinated.
Vaccine mandates are already facing legal challenges. Wednesday, a federal judge in Texas blocked United Airlines from putting unvaccinated workers on leave. While the Biden administration pushes for Americans to get their first vaccine dose, an FDA advisory committee is looking into whether people with the Moderna or Johnson & Johnson vaccine need a booster shot.
Over time, there is still relative preservation of the effectiveness of the vaccine against preventing hospitalization, yet there seems to be a decrease over the course of time against overall COVID-19 that was observed.
The group will also look at a new study, which shows people with the one-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine may be better off switching up and getting a booster shot from the Moderna or Pfizer vaccine. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Silver Spring, Maryland.
A vote on the Moderna booster shots is expected later today. The group is scheduled to vote on the Johnson & Johnson booster tomorrow. Now, the CDC will have to approve the booster shots as well before they become available to the public. Attorney General Leslie Rutledge is empowering the effort to find missing kids in the state, announcing $100,000 for the Child Abduction Response Teams, or CART program, at the University of Arkansas. The money is designed to help the multi-agency team streamline their resources in their mission to protect kids if they are kidnapped, missing, or endangered. Rutledge says the training that the group gets beforehand helps them respond at a moment's notice when a child is missing.
Because when a child goes missing, minutes are the difference in life and death for that child. And when these teams get that call to be engaged and to work together with that training, that will be the difference between life and death for an Arkansas child.
In 2019, Arkansas became the first state in the country to have a statewide certified child abduction response team.
By increasing the number of late night hours of operation and opening up for less crowded hours when the goods can move faster, today's announcement has the potential to be a game changer.
President Biden is promising to fix the supply chain backlog that has stranded scores of cargo ships loaded with clothes, computers, and gifts that may not make it to store shelves in time for the holidays. The Port of Los Angeles says it will expand to 24/7 operations, and some of the nation's biggest shippers and retailers are committing to expanding their hours too, including UPS, FedEx, and Walmart. But this announcement comes as industry experts describe the current supply chain state of affairs as a crisis. And if it isn't fixed, then Americans could see prices, which have already been increasing for months, reach sky-high levels. But it's not just an issue at the ports. For months now, we've been talking about a truck driver shortage. That's only gotten worse during the pandemic. In fact, there was already a shortage of drivers before the pandemic. Almost 60,000 down, but experts say the industry saw an additional 88,000 laid off when COVID hit. The industry is still trying to recover, but it is not easy. One economist here in Little Rock says it could be a while before we see any real step back towards normal.
It's going to take some time. I think most analysts are suggesting that, well, we're already seeing that the Christmas shopping season is going to be disrupted by supply shortages, but it's likely to last well into next year as well.
One driving school instructor here in Arkansas says there are plenty of jobs out there if you're looking for work, and drivers get paid well. He says he has companies constantly calling and asking when the next group of students will be ready to hit the road. Well, 7 years after the water crisis in Flint, another Michigan community is struggling with high levels of lead in its water. Residents of the predominantly black and low-income city of Benton Harbor are being urged by the state to use only bottled water for cooking and drinking. CBS's Omar Villafranca is in Benton Harbor.
What water do you use to cook?
The bottled water.
To brush your teeth?
Bottled water.
Bathe?
Bottled water.
For many people, bottled water is becoming a way of life in the small city of Benton Harbor, Michigan. Population 9,700. Earlier this month, the state started giving out more free cases of bottled water due to ongoing concerns about lead levels in the city's water supply.
These are water filters.
But Reverend Edward Pinkney is frustrated.
Before you can correct the problem, you have to acknowledge there's a problem.
Work together.
He says Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer has not gone far enough to warn people about the risk.
Do you think that we're not even at the point where leaders are acknowledging the problem?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The governor said precautionary reasons. She should be saying that the water is unsafe to drink.
Benton Harbor's water problems stem from corrosion of the city's lead service lines. The state says corrosion control treatment has made modest improvements, but levels are still high in some sampled homes. According to the CDC, Lead exposure is especially dangerous for children. In part, it can damage the brain and nervous system.
This is the same thing that you might find in Benton Harbor or any other community with lead service lines.
Water safety consultant Elin Betanzo says it's difficult for the average person to know if there's lead in their water.
You cannot see, smell, or taste lead in drinking water. If there's color in the water, that's usually from iron or other contaminants. There can be very high levels of lead in a glass of water, and there's no change in appearance.
Benton Harbor Mayor Marcus Muhammad says it will cost at least $30 million to replace the pipes. $28 million of state and federal money has been allocated to fix the problem, but it's been slow to arrive. This summer, Benton Harbor received $5.6 million, which was approved during the Obama administration. Muhammad expects all the city's lead lines to be replaced within the next 2 years.
Is that timetable satisfactory for you? Because you've known about this, and the city has known about this for a few years now.
Right. If I had a magic wand, I would solve it right now. But in government, things don't work that way. The reality of the matter is it takes time, it takes money, it takes resources.
Has any work started on fixing any pipes, even if it's not complete?
Work has started on fixing pipes, but it's a slow motion thing.
When people say this takes time, what do you tell them?
We don't have time.
Further complicating things, a water expert told us when fewer people use the water, it makes the problem worse because the water just ends up sitting in the pipes for longer. The city's next round of compliance testing will be completed in December. Omar Villafranca, CBS News, Benton Harbor, Michigan.